So Vamsi Vadana means he is seen with his flute placed to his lips. Suvasa. He is an excellent dresser. He's in the middle of getting dressed, at least here. And somebody's helping him. And getting some spanking with the flute. So Krishna is naughty sometimes. I just heard that, I think it was Vallabhacharya, he wrote a whole book full of poems glorifying Krishna as Chora. Anyone knows what Chora means?
Thief.
Chora? Thief. Thief. The Supreme Personality of God is a thief. Believe it or not, he steals from himself because he owns everything already. Makana Chora means butter thief. Yes. There's other words for that. Braja Jana Palana. Braja Jana, the inhabitants of Braja, he is the protector of the inhabitants of Braja. So here we see Krishna in the pastime of swallowing an entire forest fire. And in this connection, we just mention that prayer that we sang previously today, which we sing every morning, Sangsara Dava Analida Loka. Anala means fire. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is an acharya in our tradition, and he compares this material existence with a forest fire. And the spiritual master, he extinguishes that forest fire by his knowledge, his mercy. So that's also so important to have a spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada can become spiritual master for everyone who reads his books, because he's alive. Where is that prayer? He reasons ill, that tell that Vaishnavas die, while they are living in sound. Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. So this is a very good way to get personal association with Srila Prabhupada, is to read the books and get your forest fire extinguished. Nobody knows how a forest fire starts, it's just there and everybody gets burnt and suffers. Lida, we suffer. Anyway, sidetracking is going on. Asura Kula Nashana. Anyone recognize this Asura? One of the most famous, maybe the most famous one, Kans. So Krishna, he is the destroyer of demonic dynasties. Kans is getting a pretty good beating here. Speaking of which, I don't know why I came to think about this. You know, Krishna, he's one without a second. He's the, cause of all causes, the origin of all origins. And his first female manifestation, energy, is Srimati Radharani, his female companion. And his first male companion is Balaram. Balaram. You can see him there. Just came to think of Balaram and Krishna, they're very much the same. They're identical, basically. They're equally strong. There was a discussion once, actually. Some disciples asked Srila Prabhupada, who is the strongest, actually? Is it Balaram or is it Krishna? It was in Vrindavan. So Srila Prabhupada, as you know, there are Krishna Balaram deities in Vrindavan. So Prabhupada looked at the deities, he says, just see, Balaram is leaning on Krishna, so that means that Krishna is the strongest. Because he supports Balaram. Balaram is amazing. We had his appearance day just a week ago, and everything that supports the pleasure of Krishna is actually a manifestation of Balaram. So this mridanga, this is Balaram, the harmonium. This famous, actually, Ananta Shesh, he is an expansion of Balaram, Sankarshan. He carries all the universes on his hood. It's a snake, very famous big snake. So he supports everything. And Lord Shiva is a manifestation of Sankarshan. So, but, this picture of Krishna when he was a child, he floats on a big leaf, I think it's a banyan tree leaf or something, down the Yamuna River, sucking his toe. Krishna is the sweetest person, so of course the toes must taste very sweet too, so he sucks his own toe. It's the thing, Krishna knows how to enjoy himself. There's another nice painting, I didn't include that, but Krishna, very young, beautiful, he sits, basically like I sit here on the floor, and it's very shining, you can see his own image. And he looks in the floor and says, what is this beautiful boy? Oops, it's me. Anyway, so this leaf that Krishna is floating on, sucking his toe, that leaf is also manifestation of Balaram. Supports Krishna in his environment. Anyway, so Balaram, for some reason or another, he wanted to be Krishna for a day. So they are exactly the same, Balaram has a slightly different temper than Krishna. And Krishna, he has his peacock feather and his flute. Balaram doesn't have that. Balaram has a plow. So, okay, you can be Krishna. So Balaram, he borrowed the peacock feather and flute and went about for a full day trying to be Krishna. And he came up upon a big demon, a horse demon, and got a really heavy kicking. So after that he came back to Mother Yashoda, and he gave back Krishna, here you have your flute and you have your peacock feather. So Krishna had to go out and kill that demon that kicked Balaram. Anyway, it's an interesting story. Let's move on. Nanda Godhana Rakuvala. This means he who keeps and tends Maharaj Nanda's valuable cows. The cows are very, very dear to Krishna. And you can imagine what Krishna feels from the description given by Yogina Prabhu previous today about how the cows are being treated in modern society. I should mention actually that the deities that you were just bathing, they're going to get some cows in a couple of weeks, because we are trying to start up a little Goraksha cow protection and try to show that you can have cows and they can live their natural life. You take care of the dung, you take care of the milk and maybe dairy products, etc. And even oxens. This is the proper way to care for the cows, not like you were saying they live for 5 years, is it? Yeah, maximum. Thank you very much, Mother Cow. You gave your milk here for many years. Now we're going to kill you. So this is the terrible society. Krishna doesn't like this. The cows are even more dear to Krishna than the brahmanas. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. We pray to Krishna when we offer food to him. And the word Go comes before Brahmanas. So Krishna likes the cows even more. But both are dear to him. Govinda Madhva. Govinda means he really gives pleasure to the cows and the senses. Go can mean both. Sanskrit is a funny language, by the way. You know the word dvija? Dvija, that means twice born, right? And this is what you use about the brahmanas. They are born first to the biological parents, and then they are born a second time when they get initiation from the spiritual master. They're called dvija, right? But Dvija is Sanskrit, and they're also used for the birds and teeth. Teeth, you know, you get one set of teeth and then you get another one. Another one is Dvija, twice born. And the bird first gets out in the form of an egg, and then it gets out of the egg. So the bird is also twice born. Just a parenthesis. It's getting late, I know. Madhva is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Here we have Makanachora, but it says Navanita Taskara, the butter thief. Krishna loves to steal butter, distribute it to the monkeys. First he eats as much as he can. That's also something, you know, people may challenge. Okay, can God create a stone which is so heavy that it cannot lift? Right? So how do you answer that? Of course he can, if he wants to. But then the next second he can lift it if he wants to. Right? So, if Krishna wants to feel full from eating butter, while he can eat the whole universe, that it's all his sweet desire. Sundarananda Gopal, the beautiful coward son of Nanda Maharaj. There he comes, being greeted by Mother Yashoda and by Nanda Maharaj. Sundara Nanda Gopal. Yamuna Tatachara, he who wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. This is quite confidential. Gopi Vasana Hara, he who steals the garment of the gopis. You want to tell this?
Yes, the cowherd girls were unmarried, and they were bathing in the river Yamuna, and as is their custom, they would remove their cloth and then dip in naked. And knowing that they actually wanted him as husband, and Krishna, to fulfill their desire, he, like a naughty boy, stole all their clothes and climbed up in a tree, and then asked each one to come one by one and collect their clothing. So this is very confidential because the Vedic culture is very strict that only the husband can take away the cloth from the wife. So in this way, by seeing each one naked, then Krishna was accepting them as their husband, accepting them as wife, I mean to say. And, but this does not mean that Krishna is very fond of girls, and that means that he's a licentious woman hunter or something. No, this is a misunderstanding. Actually, this is Krishna's kindness to accept the devotees in that way which they desire. So the young girls, they wanted Krishna as husband, and he accepted them like that.
Thank you. Actually, Krishna is Purusha. He is the male enjoyer, and we are actually, all of us, Prakriti, which means we have to be enjoyed by Krishna. We should please him. Rasa Rasika, he who delights in the mellows of the rasa dance. It's also very confidential. One is not supposed to actually study or learn anything about the rasa dance until we are completely free from envy and completely pure in heart. Otherwise we will misunderstand. Like Prabhu was saying here, that Krishna is some common woman hunter or something like that, because that's what we are. So first we chant Hare Krishna and follow some simple rules, purify our hearts, and then we can start learning about the rasadas. Not from any professional reciter either. Kripa Moy, he is very merciful. You want to say something about this book?
It says that the greatest quality of Krishna is his mercy upon the conditioned souls. Because to have a body, it means, in effect, that we have broken our relationship with Krishna willingly. That's the heavy verdict of responsibility of having a material body. Because nonetheless, Krishna, he does not reject us. He comes as himself. He sends his representative. He sends the scriptures in an effort to reestablish this damaged relationship. That's his great mercy. So we should ask ourselves, what was it that caused me to turn away from Krishna and try to understand the necessity that we have to work at reestablishing this damaged relationship. It requires some effort on our part. And one final thing about this mercy of Krishna is that when there's a damaged relationship in the material world, it's always 50-50, or at least it's 95-5. But with Krishna, there's no fault on his part. It's entirely, each of us, we have ourselves willfully damaged our relationship with Krishna out of our fault. So to actually shoulder that responsibility, it's very difficult. It requires some honest self-examination and honesty. But when we do that, then we are able to understand what it means when Krishna is Kripa Moy. He's full of mercy. Because there's something in us that Krishna loves and wants, despite our having having a mistaken attitude towards him. So therefore just think, he sent Bhaktivinoda Thakur over 150 years ago, and then from him came Bhaktisiddhanta, and all his effort creating Gaudiya Math, and then Srila Prabhupada's effort to bring this all to the West, and went through so many hardships. And this is all an indication that Krishna is very, very merciful and will not let us rot in the material world without him. So that's Kripa.
We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada coming to the West, and right now, in this moment, 50 years ago, the steamship Yaladuta was at sea, and Srila Prabhupada was there. In the Red Sea, he suffered some severe heart attacks, but Krishna, very mercifully, let him live so that he can come and spread Krishna consciousness in the West. Oops. Sri Radha Ballabha, the most beloved of Srimati Radharani. You can see that in her face, in this painting. The most beloved of Srimati Radharani. Vrindavan Natabara, best dancer of Vrindavan. They are having a good time. Bhakati Vinodasraya. So, Krishna is the shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who wrote this very famous and very beautiful song. So, with this insight, I think we have 5 minutes. Let's chant it again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shall I turn the pages?
First time.